Welcome to this edition of the Sparx Tribune Report. My name is Devin Jones. You can find me on Twitter in the description box below, or you'll find my user handle there. Also, sparxtribune.org. That's Sparx, spell Sparks with an X, Tribune, all one word, sparxtribune.org. Sparks is spelled with an X, sparxtribune.org. Let's jump right into this. Robert Mueller, set to testify for the first time, past tense. He did testify at 11 o'clock this morning on May the 29th with regard, for the first time publicly, to his Mueller report. Well, he stated in that press briefing that he would not be taking any questions, nor would he be showing up before Congress to testify in front of Congress to testify about the report. This happens as Chuck Todd on NBC News, covering the same event, played a clip of Robert Mueller stating that he would not be testifying in front of Congress, just before claiming that Robert Mueller did not say that he wouldn't testify before Congress. Good job, Chuck Todd. But it is true Robert Mueller did not take questions from reporters. But Dems and political pundits are still acting like there might be some there with regard to Russian collusion, as Democrats in the House and in the Senate are still talking about impeachment. In fact, Cory Booker is noted as saying that Robert Mueller's report makes it clear Congress should begin impeachment proceedings immediately. That's not what Robert Mueller's report said, actually. Robert Mueller's report actually didn't address any solutions, but Robert Mueller himself said that he proposed none because it was not the job of his office as special counsel to impeach Donald Trump. That's the job of the House and the House of Representatives and the Senate. He said that's not his job. And out here with the bugs, I apologize for that. But at any rate, his report actually found no collusion in the first place, and any wrongdoing that was found, such as obstruction of justice and whatnot, if there's going to be implications for that legally, well, then it's up to the House and the Senate to follow through with impeachment proceedings. But Robert Mueller's finding did not find collusion. Robert Mueller was tasked with investigating Donald Trump's ties to Russia and, subsequently, whether or not Donald Trump colluded with a foreign power to throw a U.S. election. That was, let's not let them skew the narrative. That's what it was about from the beginning. Over 2 years ago, when this whole thing started, almost 3 years ago, when this entire Russia narrative started, it was about, let me clarify again, and in order to obfuscate the attempted sway of the narrative taking place in the mainstream press, the reason Robert Mueller was appointed special counsel to investigate Donald Trump was for the purpose of investigating specifically his ties or supposed ties to Russia, and subsequently how a candidate for president in the United States supposedly colluded with a foreign power to throw a U.S. election. Regardless of what is stated about the subsequent investigation today, that is what began the investigation. Now, without obfuscating the original facts any further, I'll continue. But the report was finalized. The report was published. Hence concluded the fucking investigation. Alright, now, after the report was published, read by Congress, as a matter of fact, I think Elizabeth Warren, in attempting to make a name for herself, read it into the congressional record, or at least a summary thereof. But, so, published, read before Congress, summarized for political consumption, and now we're hearing from Mueller's own mouth, not William Barr, not those that people that were clinging to the Russian narrative were saying, I think William Barr doctored the report. This longtime friend of Robert Mueller's doctored his report. Doctored the report of another Republican, Robert Mueller, a Republican, a George Bush nominee. I mean, their game is ridiculous. It's absurd. At any rate, So the investigation is done. In fact, we're also hearing, as of today, May the 29th, that Robert Mueller is subsequently closing the office of the special counsel. He's closing the office. He's stated so publicly. Russiagate, ladies and gentlemen, is dead. It is dead. Russiagate is dead. No more Russia. No more Russia narratives. No more, well, I can't say no more Russia narrative. CNN will be on top of that, no doubt. And probably even attempt impeachment proceedings. And I addressed this in a Facebook video, but since we're on YouTube at the moment, let me break it down very specifically with regard to impeachment. Okay, we have people on the Democratic side, and some I assume are well-meaning people that want to be rid of Donald Trump, the horrible orange buffoon. You know, they want to be rid of him. He's bad man, you know. But they go about doing so in such a way that shoots them not in the foot. They're shooting themselves in the face with this. Because going through with impeachment for this case involving Donald Trump, do you have any concern whatsoever for the gravity of the situation necessary to unseat a current president? Like, high crimes committed. We're talking a lot more than your political differences between Democrats and Republicans here. We're talking about high crimes. You know, we're talking about something substantive, at least. Impeachment? I mean, come on. We called this Watergate for 2 fucking years. Give me a break. At any rate, but so not only are you going to just pee on the process itself, disrespect the what should be viewed as a set system of going about things with regard to unseating a sitting president. And by the way, this close to an election, like, you can't just vote him out of office. But in so doing, they're going to divide their own base, the Democratic base, because some people don't see any there. People on the left a lot of times don't see any there, particularly when it comes to the actual left, and people who don't generally just consume CNN and MSNBC all day, but actual progressives watching the media through their own eyes and looking out for independent media covering things from a more honest angle. They're not believing it. Like, you're dividing up your own base horribly in doing so. Furthermore, those 2 points aside, thirdly, even if you were successful in unseating Donald Trump, impeaching his ass and whatnot, the result of which would be Mike Pence. You're gonna get President Mike Pence. That's the result. Like, you finally impeached him. You've been talking about impeachment for that long based upon some, ridiculous conspiracy theory that has yet to have a shred of evidence, like your entire Gulf of Tonkin incident. Some of you anti-war voices might have caught that reference, but your entire Gulf of Tonkin incident has led us through the wrong war, because we do need to be at war with the current administration, and for much better fucking reasons than that. Much better reasons than Russiagate. Which is why I say Gulf of Tonkin incident, because this entire Gulf of Tonkin incident Russia narrative has led us through the wrong war for the wrong reasons and will lead us to the wrong conclusion. You're going to shoot yourself in the face, not the foot. You're going to get Mike Pence, an actual conservative. Donald Trump is not a conservative. He's just an idiot. A vacuous skull cavity and a mouthpiece for the nearest lobbyist or advisor to whisper something sweet into his ear and convince him to tweet something fucking ignorant. And, Donald Trump is a joke. If you were a progressive, I think you'd say, no, let him sit in office and make the Republicans look like idiots for another year while we get together a good 2020 election strategy to unseat the motherfucker. Rashida Tlaib. Anyhow, so this is what they're going about. We have a bunch of fans of Mike Pence and the Democratic Party, apparently, because after their entire narrative is concluded and they finally impeach the motherfucker, that's what they're going to get. President Mike Pence. An actual conservative with an actual head on his shoulders, with actual allies in Congress that can get an actual conservative agenda done. Nice job, you vacuous skull cavities, you buffoons, you idiots, you clowns. Nice job. Oi. People, man. Idiots. You guys are idiots. You really are.